Experiments on Americans to attract the attention of a younger audience. CIA Director James Woolsey said he expected the experiments to be endorsements from TV and rock stars. The U.S. military expects the younger audience to fully comply.
The Dirty 30 Podcast.
And we're back. Episode 13 of the Dirty 30 Podcast.
Lucky number 13, baby. How you feeling, Cheyne?
I'm feeling spooky, man. The last episode, I pitched my movie for Monday the 13th, so now it's weird that it's actually episode 13, because I don't want to make any spooky jokes, but then, I don't know. I was thinking, too, we should have just made it episode 14 and do it like Hotels, where we just totally skipped 13 and pretend that nothing happened.
Because, you know, tradition.
Yeah.
As is tradition.
We don't want the devil showing up. Oh, how you doing, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. It's been a good couple weeks. A lot of work, which was actually good over the past couple weeks. We're definitely full swing back into the year. Busy and shit, which is good. Busy is good. Productive.
Yeah.
So that's
you stay sane that way.
yeah,
Stay sane.
straight up. And so that's been good. And what else has happened? It was my dad's birthday. Shout out to my dad, P Bakes. He made it.
Woo-hoo.
He made it to the big 5'9".
Hell yeah, so woo, baby.
So woo to him for sure. So yeah, we got to celebrate at good old Tumbleweeds. I know you're no stranger to that place. So,
Oh no, I love that place. I woke up and had a video on my phone from you and P Bakes outside of Tumbleweeds. And you guys were looking toasty, dude. It was good. I had a nice middle of the night video. It was a beautiful thing to wake up to.
It was toasty. It's funny. We did have quite a few drinks, but how many of those drinks were in celebration of my future child is when you have a kid on the way. Just every time you want to drink, it's just an excuse is to just celebrate the upcoming birth of your child. It's kind of, you know, a privileged perspective because I'm the dad and not the mom, you know, but
Right? You got to drink for two.
Yeah,
You're drinking for two now.
drinking for two, really, if you think about it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but the baby is the size of a My Little Pony. And this is maybe about a week late on that. But
Yeah.
Your baby is the size of My Little Pony right now.
It's even bigger now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. They grow quick, man. Cellular division is a hell of a thing.
Dude, the more you know.
Bring. Oh, hell
Speaking of the more you know, dude, it's fucking the 27th. We made it. This year's already flying by pretty quick.
First month almost in the books.
Yeah, and then we got a short month following up. And it's leap year this year, isn't it? I think it's leap year.
I think it is.
We got an extra day.
Yeah, next month.
Hell yeah. That's pretty cool.
Let's do it.
I don't know. That's a weird one. What's up with leap year? On the next episode, we're gonna break down the science of leap year and why it's even a thing.
I mean, I kind of know off the top of my head, but if you want to get in depth, let's definitely do that.
Well, what do you know?
What do I know?
What do you know on it?
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe we should break it down.
I honestly, you know why I said that too was because right away, like the way my mind works is I was just spinning, trying to think of witty ass shit to say. And I don't know anything about leap year. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's like every 4 years, isn't it?
Yeah. It has something to do with the making up of time.
Oh, perfect.
If I'm not mistaken, it's to like sync the world clock.
Oh, true. Yeah, we do feel out of sync.
You know?
So only one more month, and then we'll be back in sync.
And then we'll be
That's
back in sync. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I believe it is.
Honestly, I miss NSYNC being around. Just thinking about all that too. I miss them.
You do?
No, but I do miss the Bee Gees. And on this day, In 1968, the Bee Gees made their U.S. debut with a concert at the Anaheim Convention Center, back where you are in California, baby.
It's so funny to me how much The Office has made an impression on my life, but now whenever I hear the Bee Gees, I just think of the CPR episode where the lady's like telling him, like, you just want to do it to the tune of Staying Alive. And then Michael Scott looks over. First I was afraid, I was petrified. That shit was fire,
Oh,
dude.
my God.
Shit was fire. That's a good one. 1971. David Bowie arrived for the first visit to the U.S. He did not perform, but received a lot of publicity for wearing dresses in Texas and Louisiana, which at the time, 1971, was probably very risque.
I can tell you right now, it's 2020. You still can't wear dresses in Texas or Louisiana as a male. Maybe like Bourbon Street. Maybe.
Dude, I've watched enough RuPaul's Drag Race to know that there is definitely a drag scene in those states.
Oh, well, yeah.
They exist.
But I mean, there's also a lot of open carry and weird, crazy, fucked up, backwards people.
Yeah.
So
there's probably a lot of drag queens that open carry. If you think about
Ooh.
it. Ooh.
That's like a kind of like a dick innuendo too.
Ooh. And under.
like that.
Open carry and under carry.
Speaking of which, Cyndi Lauper released Time After Time in 1984.
Oh, Cyndi Lauper. That one. 1984. I wasn't alive yet.
No, neither was I.
So, time after time. 1990, Tom Petty Day was declared in the musician's hometown of Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Florida, also where Aaron Hernandez got away with a couple crimes after watching that documentary. Speaking of which,
Yeah, typically here I would say allegedly, but no, he did it.
he did it for sure.
He's guilty.
Yeah,
They just have video surveillance of him doing it.
dude,
pretty
it's so funny because my wife, she loves like true crime stuff, and I'm not always into it. Depending on what it is, I just don't like shows that have like dramatizations and shit. So I was watching the Aaron Hernandez documentary, and she made the comment like, "So all you need to watch a true crime thing is just for it to involve sports, and then all of a sudden you're interested into it." And I was like, well, this is a documentary with like actual footage and testimony from actual people that were involved, not dramatizations. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. It's just funny to me. And then she asked me, so what do you think? Did he do it or no? And I was like, oh, no, babe. Like, this isn't that type of documentary that's like, did he do it or no? It's like, he for sure did it. These are just the circumstances around the entire thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Yeah, those were brutal. Well, I didn't watch the, I think there was like an IDTV one that's out as well as the Netflix one. I watched the Netflix one, but I need to watch the other one too, just make it 110% in my mind, because right now it's just 107%. So
bring up that 3%, dude. Turn it to 11.
Yeah. Speaking of turning it to 11, or almost turning it to 25, Super Bowl 25, Whitney Houston sang that Star Spangled Banner. Oh, which is it's cool that the 27th once fell on a Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Because now it's just on a Margarita Monday, which is still cool.
Yeah, and 6 days removed from the Super Bowl again. Super Bowl is next Sunday.
Yeah. Who do you got?
Who do I got? I'm my 49ers jersey's in the mail right now, dude.
You got Janine Garofalo?
Dude, I'm going Ginny G.
Yeah, Janine Garofalo is going to throw fucking 14 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, you know me, dude. I'm a Chargers fan, so there's no way I can, in my right mind, root for the Chiefs. I will root for whatever team is ever playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So this year it happens to be the 49ers.
Yeah, we keep it West Coast, too, you know?
And you know what? I like Deebo Samuels. I like some of the young guys on that team. They had a great defense all year. Yeah.
Sherman.
You know, so
I love them.
I got 49ers this year. How about you?
Yeah, I want to see that too. I have a gut feeling like Mahomes just gonna fucking do what he does. But if San Francisco's defense shows up, they win that game because it will be an offensive shootout. But I think, it's going to come down to one of the defenses stepping up and just fucking taking hold of that game.
Well, yeah. Also, the run game of San Francisco. If they have another running game like they did in that against the Packers, then that opens up their pass game, and it's going to be gnarly.
Yeah. Speaking of that pass game, final one, 93. Warner Brothers Records had to pass. Well, they had to kind of let him go. Ice-T, they had to get rid of him. They had to cut that contract for creative differences. But look at him now. That was 93. Look at how much success he's had since then.
Who got the last
Warner
laugh?
Brothers, you fucked up.
Warner motherfucker, show respect.
Show respect, baby. Show respect, baby.
Ice-T,
Yeah, dude.
He's such a legend, dude. I mean, how was that collab with Ice Pick?
Yeah, actually, yeah. And you got to just go straight back to Cop Killer.
Yeah.
Body Count.
Yeah. Body Count was pretty dope for its day, but like,
I bet that was released in 93, and those were the creative differences.
Yeah.
Was that he put out Cop Killer to later go play a cop.
for years. Hey, this is going to be a controversial joke, but fuck it. Ice-T has been playing a cop on TV longer than he played a gangster in real life.
That's those statistics right there, dude. You can't argue numbers.
You can't argue numbers, baby.
And also, happy birthday. It would have been his birthday. Unfortunately, at the very end of last year, he passed away, but he's our person that we really want to party with from the past, because unfortunately now he is a person of the past. But John Witherspoon, January 27th was his birthday, so he was born in 42. But yeah, unfortunately passed away. But dude, Pops, baby. I wanted to party with Pops.
Yeah, and Shane, you and I talked about this after he passed away. We almost made him our guest like immediately afterwards, and then we were like, you know what? Let's let some time go by. You know what I mean? And then we'll make him our person of the past. And we feel like it's been enough time that we can celebrate this man, his comedy stylings, obviously all the different projects that he's done. He's Pops. He's put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
Put hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
Best known for his role as Willie Jones in the Friday movie series. He also starred in films like Hollywood Shuffle, Boomerang, The Five Heartbeats, and Vampire in Brooklyn. He also made television show appearances on The Wayans Brothers, The Tracy Morgan Show, Barnaby Jones back in '73, The Boondocks, and Black Jesus. Great show.
Dude, and think about, too, we were young, but like the Wayans Brothers, like the Wayans Bros, that show.
We're happy and we're singing and we're color.
Dude, that was so... Well, you can't say like before its time, because it was its time, it was the perfect time for that to happen. But man, that show was a classic, dude.
Well, on top of all that, John Witherspoon also did some stand up. He was kind of like a jack of all trades, like a lot of old timey TV and film actors were, and he did some stand up bits, and his drug of choice was definitely marijuana. He talked about it openly,
Sweet Chiba, baby.
Yeah, he had a famous bit where in Chicago, how strong the weed was there, and you can go on YouTube and find those bits. It was pretty funny, but how cool would it have been to chill with John Witherspoon, even in just like a social bullshitting type of setting, passing forth a blunt and just kind of talking some shit. That would have been probably the setting that would have been coolest to party with him.
Absolutely. And if anyone listening hasn't heard the episode where him and his son, I think John Witherspoon Jr., they're both on Joe Rogan's podcast like early last year. It was about a year ago at this point. And, it's one of the last podcasts that John Witherspoon did, but it was just so rad, man. He's just shooting the shit. He's so fucking funny still, and he still had it. And, it's a bummer to see that he, left this earth, but it's all good, man. It was his time. He's old. He's an old motherfucker, born in 42. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago, but rest in peace, John Witherspoon. Just pour one out for you.
Pour one out for you, brother. Put some hot sauce on that burrito, baby. Yeah, speaking of RIP, you and I were talking about it for our list of this week. I wanted to put a list together of my top moments of Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant, who tragically died yesterday.
Yeah.
It was it hit pretty close to home for me, honestly. It's kind of weird. I told my wife earlier in the day yesterday, I was like, I don't know why I'm so bummed out about this. It's like a fucking stranger died, and I'm not really one to let like celebrity deaths affect me or anything. But I've just been a lifelong Laker fan, and I've watched Kobe Bryant's entire career beginning to end. I went to a basketball camp when I was a kid, 8th fucking grade that he was at when he was just like in his first or second year of the Lakers, before he went on to become the legend that he was. So, in a lot of ways, I looked up to the dude. He was a childhood hero of mine, and I think it's pretty cool to, even in this day and time, I was talking to my wife about it. Like, I grew up with a fucking black man being my hero, Kobe Bryant, I fucking put on a pedestal as being like, the Michael Jordan of my time, and I have no shame in that at all. And the fact that like my family was so supportive of like me having that as a role model and looking up to a dude like that and that sort of being nurtured by my family is something that I'll always appreciate. It's I don't know. It's pretty dope to look back on how much of an impact a single person has made, even indirectly, on someone's life. So,
and that's a lot of people too. I don't think realize this. Our friends that listen to this podcast, they know because we're all close friends. But Tim balls, man. Tim can hoop, baby. This guy he's like, okay, so he's like the big guy, so obviously he can be down low. He's got that fucking just post up. But this dude shoots a J too. This dude's got that outside shot. So when he says like, we went to a basketball camp, like Tim played basketball up through high school, everything, competitive playing, like, and that's the other side. It's like we went to Newport Harbor High School, so it's little things that I forget about. I saw it in the football side of it. You saw it in the basketball side of it.
Totally.
It's a CIF champion school. There's a lot of fucking athletes that end up going to like USC, UCLA. Like, a lot of athletes fucking come out of those schools. So we were playing at pretty high levels.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about now because we just burnt out, played music. But it's
and went through some pretty reputable programs as far as high school sports are concerned, yeah, it's crazy to me, man. And that's why, so the list of that we put together were just top Kobe Bryant moments. And we figured it was like a cool way to pay homage to the dude, and keep it for kind of like his accomplishments on the court. You know what I mean? Because the dude has transcended even just like basketball and playing with like the cool shit that dude's done and impactful stuff that dude's done in his life. But like, we figured we'd keep it light and just throw some list of some fucking actual action on the court to discuss, which
that's what we're saying.
That's the brass tacks. That is the brass tacks, baby. So starting at number 5, this was in 2006. Kobe Bryant dunks all over Steve Nash's face, which was at the time a pretty decent heated rivalry between the two teams. Steve Nash was playing for the Phoenix Suns at the time. It was when they were having probably their most like playoff success, as a franchise, like the longest run. Maybe it passed the Dan Marley era of that, like Charles Barkley era of the Phoenix Suns. But Steve Nash, yeah, it was kind of a bullshit.
He just got that Mamba right to the face, too. He got the Mamba's Mamba right in the face, dude. That double black Mamba.
Yeah, dude.
Mamba-ception, dude.
And it was kind of like a broken play, too, where it was almost a turnover. And then Kobe Bryant pretty much was just, Steve Nash just was caught like deer in headlights there all of a sudden with Kobe Bryant taking flight. And he dunked all over his face. That was a great moment. I remember getting out of my seat for that one. Number 4, Kobe Bryant beats the Boston Celtics in the finals in 2010. That is a fucking huge one on my list. The fact that it's at number 4 shows you that there's stuff that in my eyes I thought were like even better. But the Lakers beating the Celtics, there's a 3-part documentary on ESPN, 30 for 30. It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's like 5 hour long documentary. I didn't even watch it. I watched it in multiple days. You know what I mean? It took to watch that whole thing. But it just shows you the entire history of that rivalry. How many times the Celtics beat the Lakers back in the 60s. The redemption the Lakers finally got in the 80s, even though the Celtics also won in the 80s as well. And then for Kobe to bring championships, and not only bring championships, but to do it against the Celtics in 2010 was like a monumental moment in Laker history. You know, that had to be on the list. And also, you know, in the wake of him passing, to see the entire NBA kind of get together is one of the craziest things. Like, with how heated of a rivalry that is, you got fucking Boston Celtics coaches today today I saw it, breaking down crying on fucking Sports Center this morning.
Dude, even that, I remember seeing it. It was like the day of Popovich, my boy. Popovich had his team. He had the Spurs. I think they were playing the Raptors. But they just, from the opening tip-off, they had already come to the agreement that whoever wins that tip-off takes the 24-second penalty in homage of number 24, which was Kobe.
Yeah.
And they just fucking moment of silence, you know, and the crowd's feeling it. And that's something too. You know, I'm a big hockey fan, so that was the day of, you know, you see it from all the players. Just the respect level is I think from every athlete around the world, there's just like a respect level, because whether, you know, you're a LeBron fan or a Michael Jordan fan or a Kobe fan, whoever you feel like is the great, is that none of those players would be the greatest if it weren't for the other person trying to be the greatest. Like, it's like you don't have the Beach Boys without the Beatles. You don't have the White Album without Pet Sounds. You don't, or whatever order, you know, there's, in the athletic side of that, you know, LeBron wouldn't be the fucking super fucking freak that he is if Kobe wasn't the super fucking freak that he was.
Yeah.
And if Jordan wasn't the super fucking freak that he was.
Yeah.
Those
are just the three dudes that showed what's actually possible. They set the blueprint for the person before them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And the list goes on. Obviously, you know, Jordan had the players he was looking at, and so on and so on. But and it'll forever grow, because I don't know if you've noticed, but every generation of athlete that comes next in every sport is just a super freak of a human. There's just the specimen.
I 100% agree with you, but that actually brings me to my number 3 on this list, Shane. And number 3, it ties in perfectly, because number 3 is something that neither Michael Jordan or LeBron James has done, that only Kobe Bryant has done. Now, it doesn't mean that he's the better of the 3. It just means that out of objective stats, looking down on a stat sheet to see who has the highest point game out of all these guys, Kobe Bryant is at the top of that list. And that's in 2006 against the Toronto Raptors. Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in one game, which was...
Yeah, fuck you, Drake. Fuck you, Drake.
Which was, at the time, you know, even still to this day, only the second greatest performance in history. And the other one was done by a center in an era of basketball in which his physical stature was an insane domination over like 90% of the rest of the league. Kobe Bryant did it in an era of the NBA that not only was defensively way more competitive, but also... I don't know, the way that he did it was like the most insane night. Anything that the dude put up, it went in. And so he just kept putting them up. And so it kept going in. It was like the most insane. I just remember like checking my eyes a couple times. Like, am I fucking seeing this right? Like, what the hell is happening? And it's gnarly.
And on that note, and I have to sprinkle in that little bit of humor, but that reminds me of Hinchcliffe's joke. It was like minutes after he pulled an Anthony Jeselnik. And it just said, Kobe passing, unheard of.
See, I thought that was at least one of the tasteful ones. You know what I mean? Like, that's
there's bad. I mean, there's bad jokes out there, but there's always going to be bad jokes.
Always.
And you got Ari doing his thing. He's been on a rampage now. He's getting death threats. And
well, it's like I told you, dude. It was like I can't get pissed off at those things because if it's not somebody that I care about, sometimes I actually do chuckle to myself about those types of jokes. You know what I mean? I've got a pretty dark sense of humor that way, but it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Let people do what they want to do. I loved the dude, man. That doesn't change the way that I feel. You know what I mean? Like,
what I say to those people is I say deuces. Which brings us to number 2.
And number 2 is a pretty good one, and probably one of the more iconic actual basketball moments of Kobe. But it was, and Shane, as soon as I, as soon as I say it, you'll probably remember this like in slow motion highlight. But Kobe throwing the alley-oop to Shaq in the Western Conference Finals of 2000, and it was that iconic one.
That Kobe to Shaq combo before they were getting in little petty arguments over like pizza rolls and shit.
Yeah.
But when they were fucking paying attention to the game,
Pizza logs.
oh, dude, hey, did you see that picture I sent? The apple pie logs.
No, I didn't. I didn't see the apple pie logs, but I did see the
apple pie logs.
The picture
too.
we got, and thank you again. I wish I had her Instagram name handy for us. That sent us the buffalo pizza.
The logs on pizza.
Yeah, pizza logs on fucking pizza. We'll give you.
I started following that Buffalo Eats Instagram just because of that pizza logs on pizza.
And it had the it had the right pepperonis, you know.
Oh, dude, those little ones. Oh, what are they called again? Little nips. I don't know. That's what I call them.
What are they called? The Crispin turns. They're the it's something like
Crispin
that.
Glover.
No. Something like that, man.
Oh, I forget, man.
Yeah, but actually, I pulled it up right here. Her name is Tiana Tron. Sent us that pizza with the pizza logs on it.
Oh, yes. Thank you. You opened our eyes to something that, I mean, Buffalo, we'll be back. So you save us one. Allentown pizza for life. But, you know, I'll do it. I'll go.
But we'll just have to have pizza multiple times while we're there next time. I'm okay with that.
Dude, we had poutine twice in one day, I think.
I had wings twice for sure while we were there.
Oh, my God. I love it. Mo's been sending us photos once in a while of what we're missing out on.
Yeah.
Blue cheese or fuck your mother, dude. Oh, my God.
Blue cheese or fuck your mother.
Already. But
number one.
What is... I want to hear that number 1, dude. I want to hear that number 1.
Number 1's kind of just more of a sentimental one for me, but it was Kobe's retirement game. He scored 61 points. And I don't know, man. Like I said, I watched the dude's career from beginning to end, was a huge fan. He brought multiple championships to my city. It was a fucking moment, dude. I remember just having like a single tear run down my cheek during his like retirement. What they did and planned for him the night of and the ceremony and all that shit of it was like, it was pretty fucking dope. You know what I mean? And one of the animated short that Kobe Bryant produced that was made off of like his like sort of like sign off from basketball. It was like his open love letter to basketball or whatever it was right before he retired. That ended up getting him a fucking Academy Award. Animated short.
Yeah, I was reading something about that actually. That's crazy because he's one of the like only athletes to have that too. And
and it was a super
not being like an actor.
Yeah, and it was a super well done, and it was very touching and whatnot. And, you know, it's one of those things. I don't think if you aren't a basketball fan, it's probably hard for you to put it into perspective. I give a lot of people that, you know what I mean? But he's one of those dudes that I thought transcended outside of basketball. He's a household name. Everybody knows who the dude was.
Right.
And it just goes to show the impact that he's had not only on the sports world, but entertainment and otherwise. So...
And just LA right now. And I mean, you work there, so you're in it, you know, traffic this morning probably fucking feels different. Everyone's just kind of feeling it, but it's this other side that just the city of LA, I was already seeing stuff over the weekend, the day of, they have Staples Center and that whole area is just like, it's like a positive version of the LA riots. Like it's a confrontational version of that type of crowd. Just fucking people just partying in the streets for that dude. And I mean, you can hear the music. You can just hear what they're listening to. You know, it's LA, baby. It's downtown. Oh my God.
What is that? Is that the fanfare or is that?
For a second, I thought it was coming from the cars, but I don't think that is, dude. You know what that is?
Oh. Yeah, baby.
Oh my God, dude. As always, this episode, I'm just say that into the cup, pouring it. This episode is made by, not made by, it's made with, it's enjoyed with the main ingredient. It is the Michelada Minute.
And this is a delicious Michelada. I'm actually gonna cheers and toast this Michelada out to Kobe Bryant for this one.
Yeah, I'll take my sip to John Witherspoon too, because it would have been his birthday. So both of those guys. I mean, I want to party with Kobe too. Truly, I want to party with Kobe because I bet he could keep up. You know, I bet he drank micheladas.
Honestly, probably would be very boring to party. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, he's probably makes kale shakes and shit.
I want to tell you about something though, Shane. I want to tell you about this Michelada that I'm drinking right now.
Oh, tell me about it.
This Michelada that I'm drinking right now is made top brand by Estrella Jalisco, which is a good Mexican lager, in conjunction with Golden Road Brewing, local LA brewery here. It is a spicy piña Michelada made with clamato, which I think is a really good thing to mention because clamato is what gives it that authentic Michelada taste to me.
I want to put my spicy piña in your clamato.
Dude, so it's a spicy pineapple Michelada. They also make a mango one with the mango cart, which is delicious as well. But this one is my new favorite Michelada out of a can, which I like to go both ways. I like to just pour a Modelo into some delicious mix I have. And I also...
Where can that be found?
Dude, I mean, I'm in Southern California, so I literally bought this at a liquor store that I don't even remember the name. It's just,
so you're just going normal corner store?
Corner store.
No Bevmo or anything like that?
No, it's nothing special, dude. They just have these everywhere. Spicy piña micheladas, dude. They're fucking delicious.
I'm going to take a look for those. I haven't had those. I've been on the kick of, like I poured this one. This one's actually in a cup, little Bloody Mary style.
Yeah.
But the ones that I've been getting in the can have been the picantes, dude. Those Modelo picantes. I like those a lot.
Those ones are delicious. Those ones are really delicious.
Dude, I like pineapple on pizza, and I want pineapple on Michelada. That sounds delicious. The mango one actually sounds real good because I've been eating some dried mango lately.
I was skeptical of both, Shane. I was skeptical of both, and both of them did not disappoint. So if you can't find them up there, I'll fucking send you a care package. I'll bring them up there myself.
Okay.
I'll drop off 2, and then we'll hang out for a day, and then I'll go home.
Dude, we could do that. We could totally do that.
Okay, well, I'll drop them off. We'll drink them, and then I'll head home.
Man, you know what this pineapple in Michelada reminds me of? It almost gets like it's got this like island vibe. I know you're going to Hawaii soon.
I am.
So you get that pineapple vibe, but it reminds me of this crunchy ass dude that I know. I know you know him too. I don't know if you knew this, but we hit him up on the low, and by we I mean, yeah, you were in on it. But we hit him up. We hit him up on that low, and we wanted a special guest for this episode, strain of the episode. I know we've been doing our straight edge correspondence, and we love them, and we're going to continue to do it with them. We're still branching out to try to find some more participants in it. Instagram keeps flagging my Instagram stories asking if I know any straight edge people because they keep saying that I'm trying to sell weed on Instagram, which I don't understand how that gets mixed up. But
not really. That's not really what we're doing here, but whatever.
No.
Thanks, Instagram.
But it's just we got a crunchy guest, and that's our boy Rasta Rob. So let's kick it to Rasta Rob for this episode's strain of the episode.
The strain of the episode.
What's up, doggies? It's your boy Rasta Rob here with the strain of the episode. Just got down from the hill trimming. Platinum OG is the strain of the episode. Platinum OG is just as precious as the metal it's named after. The indica dominant hybrid asserts itself as one of the heaviest strains around. Platinum OG is purported to stem from the 3 strains: Master Kush, OG Kush, and a third, unknown parent. Flowers are lime green and plump, with prominent orange hairs and platinum coating thanks to the abundance of THC crystals. A brief heady onset settles into a powerful physical sedation, suitable for nighttime use of pain, stress, and anxiety relief. making this precious strain a robust healer, dog. The effects are relaxed, sleepy, hungry, happy, and euphoric, my favorite. The taste, peppery, herbal, and citrus. Terpenes, mycene, herbal. The most common terpene found in cannabis. Carophyllene, it's peppery, spicy pepper terpene that may have anti-inflammatory benefits. And limonene, citrus. Citrus-scented terpene commonly believed to provide anxiety and stress relief. Stay lit, doggies.
And we're back. Thank you. Thank you, Rasta Rob, for this week's special edition of the strain of the episode. Great strain for Rasta to read. It's as you would call it,
OG Kush.
you would call an old timer or an OG, and not OG like the Kush, but like, you know, it's an older strain. It's one of the classics. It's an oldie but a goodie. Just like my boy Rob, Rasta Rob. Man, that guy. I got to tell you something, Shane. Right now, I'm burning a coconut and mandarin candle as we record this in the studio, and with that scent happening during that segment, with those vibes, that music, Rasta Rob talking, I'm telling you, man.
Pineapple Michelada too,
dude.
Oh my!
I'm telling you right now, Shane. I feel like I'm in Hawaii already, dude.
I know you guys knew this because he's got a kid on the way, but Tim fucks. Tim fucks, man. I love that.
I tried it once.
I love that.
Our ceremonious ending, the Jeff Goldblum quote. So here it is. My friend Ed Begley goes fishing. It's a little smelly to me. I don't like it so much. I like to eat fish, but I don't like to catch them. Jeff Goldblum. Take it easy, everybody.
Experiments on Americans attract the attention of a younger audience. CIA Director James Woolsey said he expected the experiments to be endorsements from TV and rock stars. The U.S. military expects the younger audience to fully comply.
The Dirty 30 Podcast.
Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe at TDTPcast.